Hey guys, welcome back to Agents After Hours. My name is Brian. I'm here always with my two partners in crime, Thomas Kadar and Luis Red Anaya. And we're going to talk to you about some stuff we're seeing in the real estate space. We're getting really close to election time. There's a lot of stuff going on in and out there that we thought might be relevant to share globally and locally. So we're going to just chat about it real quick, starting with the concept of focus and kind of where the business is at and where it's not. We're kind of going through something right now where we're actually heavily recruiting agents for our offices. And we're noticing a consistent pattern of communication and conversation coming up with the agents. We're also noticing what's going on with our individual businesses. As I'm sure we've talked about before, we're all producing real estate agents with our own teams, our own things going on, and we have our combined businesses. And I am busy. The guys are really busy, and we'll come off 2 hours sleep to go back to do it all again. It's like, man, I cannot keep up with the two levels of these things. And so we talk about it ongoing. But from our perspective, it seems like there's a very big disconnect between what's really going on and what people are telling themselves is going on. And we are like, Frank, the word is in the shit. And so it's like, dude, this is not what's happening. Like, you guys have no clue what's going on. So anyways, that's the beginning of the conversation. So we talk about it real quick. I was earliest in the conversation. Tom was last. So Tom, why don't you jump in on the most recent data and information you got from corporate and what we're seeing on our side for recruitment and agent last. You had last interview yesterday, didn't you? With an agent?
With an agent?
Yeah. What was the most recent thing that came up? We were just talking about it.
Regarding what agents are looking for?
Yeah, I think so. What agents are looking for. Like what were we talking about? So we were talking with the recruiter and we were trying to figure out what they're wanting, and the conversations handed down are kind of like, we have people coming in, but they want leads or they have other appointments that they just don't know and they have no idea. And so I don't know,
I feel most agents think they know what they want, but they really don't. I mean, it's they come in with one preconceived notion on kind of what they think is going to progress their business. Like you said, leads or I don't know, CRM or structure or something like that. Or it's mostly coaching. I think they gravitate towards what I hear most often in those interviews is one-on-one coaching, and I want to be able to call someone all the time at 10 o'clock at night and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, obviously we know that's not the most important thing. It's if you put your head down, you do the things that, our training, you plug into that and you do those training items, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters.
Dude, what's crazy to me is that the amount of, it's so exhausting. The sheer amount of agents that you coach. First of all agents want coaching, right? Mm-hmm. And then, they really do want some level of mentorship, hand-holded coaching. Very physically, they will say verbally, I need my hand held. I don't know what I'm doing. And right. You will sit there and say, do exactly this. Right. And they don't like it that's what it is.
I feel like they focus on certain things that they want to do. And they're like, hey, I'm going to do this.
No present person in your mind?
Like 24 people, actually. But I really want to do this because I like studying contracts, or I like reading, or I like,
or like
I'm gonna do that a lot. But the other things you're telling me to do, like talk to 20, 30 people a day that are interested in buying or selling real estate, that doesn't sound so fun.
I don't know about that.
That sounds a little bit more difficult.
So there's no sectionist to that.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing, no content, no creativity behind it. The grunt work is not what most agents want to do right now.
But even that, like last 2 weeks I've had conversations with agents because, we try to get them to focus on the stuff they're really good at. Say, well, at least let's lean into that. Like, let's do the things you're really good at. I think I've told you guys about past agents who are really good at, like, they could do the social party scene and get like every person in their pocket by the end of the day, but they know nothing of real estate and could never pick up a phone. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Let's work with this thing and figure out how to mitigate that in a way that's positive. But even that, it's like, well, okay, I hear you, but I don't want to do that.
That's fine too. If you take that person and you partner them with somebody that doesn't like the social aspect of it, but you can connect them to the to the somebody who actually does the transaction or in some sort of partnership, then that's a viable team. I think that you can work.
I wonder if it's the entire real estate industry too, not just agents. Like if it's everyone or most, not everyone, because I've got plenty
That doesn't want to do the work.
Yeah, they don't want to do the thing that's involved in the job. They just like I blame TV, man. Like being in the real estate industry is such a sexy item for people that they want to be in real estate, but they don't really want to. It's like I want to be in development, but they don't want to pick up a hammer. It's like it's the same. You still got to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, it has to go back to like I said, HGTV, Instagram, TikTok.
Ugh.
They've painted this picture of sexiness when it comes down to the real estate industry, that when you want to do the dirty work, they want to outsource it to just set up appointments, write contracts, and never put in the work in between that phase. So they can't get the likes, the shares, the views, which again doesn't equate to
Who is that? Remember that dude was doing that dance off in your living room?
The flip in Drupa? Yeah.
So tell that story because it's actually really funny. To the work, like of what the actual job is. Good.
Well, it goes back to the notion of what you guys are talking about. People forget the context in which real estate actually falls under, where you have to have conversations. You have to go out there and communicate with people. Everybody got lost in the sauce of, let me create content that attracts people to call me.
Yeah, I'm making my junior show.
Yeah.
I'm a real estate person. That's what I do.
So this agent called me, said, I have a buyer. Again,
Great, dude.
Everywhere on the MLS I posted, I have cameras in the property. I'm recording everything that's going on. Guy shows up to the property with a tripod and handheld one as well.
Wait, buyer? No buyer.
No buyer. Just by himself.
Tripod's a buyer.
3,000 buyers. I have 3,000 buyers.
It's I see him get there and I see him, right, great. See him get there, turns on the lights, gets the property ready. I'm like, oh, cool, an active agent, He's ahead of time. He's getting the property ready to look nice, presentable. He's going to show it off to the clients that are going to get there. And then boom, music starts playing. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, this guy's going to do a runaway for the buyers, or what's he going to do? He pretty much gets in there.
Like this, huh?
So I called him. I actually called him halfway through it, and
he's like,
hey, dude. I told him, I was like, hey, dude, like, is this a virtual tour for your client? Are you going to call him on Zoom? Are you going to FaceTime him? What's going on? It's like, oh, no. It's I do videos and I get anywhere between 17 to 30,000 likes and views, and it's promotion for your property and, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so you don't have a buyer? I was like, you're wasting my electricity.
I'm releasing the chickens. You got 10 minutes.
Yeah, not good for you, but I commend the guy for actually doing something as opposed to an agent just on their Instagram all day, not doing anything.
Oh, 100%.
And there was remember the Santa Ana flip that we had?
Actually we did. Yeah, we got like a bunch. That's
that one got promoted out, and
I've actually never seen anything like that.
That one got insane amount of traction, actually.
Yeah.
And again, that's
how you got the buyer.
Yeah, that's a good share. That's like, here's the property, not like, here's me doing Footloose in your front living room.
But again, the beautiful part about that one is it goes to show how people are so disconnected to what the consumer wants to see. Right. Ray, who was the one that posted that video, my boy Ray, the lender, he's the one that actually went to the property. He was a potential buyer for it. He just said, you know what, this is a little bit more work than what we want to take on right now. I'll post a video with no point, no intention. He understands the consumer's eye. He understands like what they're looking for, the content that's going to create attraction to be able to produce some kind of viable buyer out of it.
Was he the one that injected humor into it and was like, this is what you get for $600?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because right now that's a topic of conversation: how overpriced are properties, how expensive it is to live in California, Orange County primarily. So he injected that humor. He showed off what the potential was. He pretty much made a very unique video, and he wasn't on it. It was just his voice. He wasn't on it. He didn't have to dance.
Yeah, it was by him.
He didn't have to, create this crazy song behind it, promote it, boost it, or anything of that nature. It grew traction on its own, and I think that's where the disconnect is. Like, a lot of people want that instant gratification, but they also want the recognition. So they want to put themselves into the video, dance, show themselves off, and everything else. Again, the guy that did the video, after he promoted it, after he posted it, absolutely nothing to do with the video. Absolutely nothing to do with the house. Did I get a buyer out of that guy? Absolutely not. Did he produce a buyer? Absolutely not. After I looked up his numbers, he had only sold 2 properties in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
It's like,
but I get 700,000 likes.
You know,
that's the thing.
And that's where I think people get lost. Like you said, it's not that they don't want to do the work, it's that they're doing the wrong work.
Yeah.
And right now, the world that we live in is so full of distractions, politics, sports. And, you know, I'm saying this sitting here wearing Dodgers, everything, you know, they're in the World Series, which, by the way, predict the future. They're going to win it. Congratulations to the Dodgers ahead of time. By the time this airs,
you're welcome.
You're welcome. But again, there's so many distractions, and I put it into my own perspective. I know the game's going to be at 5:00. If I get an appointment, am I going to go to the appointment? Hell yes. You know, is the World Series an important thing for me as a fan? And I love the Dodgers. It's a team that I've followed for my whole life.
Yeah.
And am I going to miss an opportunity to provide a better future for my family or provide a better outcome for my business as well too, just because there's a sporting event that I have no gratification of sitting there and investing that time into that instead of something of an opportunity? Hell no, dude. There's replay. There's, you know, you can watch it again.
That's the mentality that you need,
yeah.
obviously, to be successful in anything. I mean,
And, you know,
business, real estate, whatever.
If it's directly going to impact me, I'm going to invest my time into it. You know, it goes again to what I'm saying. Like, you got to go back and you got to understand, when you get into the real estate industry, you're going to have to put in sacrifice. You're going to have to put in the work. Yeah. It goes back to like me. I mean, I've been doing this for, 15 years now.
Yeah.
Right. And I still know that there's opportunities that are going to come up and they're at the wrong time for the right reasons. And I have to make a decision. Right. And if you want to be a professional in this industry, you have to make the right financial decision for your business. Real estate is not a business where you can just ignore calls or ignore opportunities. There's an agent in every freaking corner. Right.
Yeah.
Now, are they good? That's up for debate.
Good
right?
as you are at the moment.
You know, and that's the sad reality. I mean, I think the statistic was, last time I checked, was 1 in every 7 people in Orange County has a license, real estate license. So
it's gotta be up there.
You know, if you don't take the call and you don't take the opportunity at that point, and you don't have any value attached to the client where they actually respect the fact that if you're a little bit tied up, you're going to be able to provide them the services that they're already accustomed to getting from you.
Yeah,
they're going to move on.
Yeah,
they're going to move on.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, even in a situation like this, where I'm watching a sporting event that happens very rarely, especially like, you know, a World Series game, great. If an opportunity comes up for me to go walk a flip, I'm going to go walk the flip. I am. I'm not going to sit around and, you know, hope the Dodgers win the championship. Great. When they do, I'll celebrate with them, go to their parade. But am I going to not invest the time at that moment just because I want to see it physically live?
That's the mentality. I mean, I just came from my place and they're still working on it. My handyman just told me today that he's like,
finish early?
No, I wish. His girlfriend was in the car and she was like, "Hey, does she want to come in?" No, she's good. She's studying for her real estate exam.
That's insane, you know?
And we're going to do our real estate exam together. And we're going to try and pass it. And you know, it'll help us kind of do some flips here and there. That was kind of his mentality. But I don't know. I mean, you know, I'll sit down with him and talk with him. But
definitely keep my number.
I mean, the difference between him and like actually sitting down and the agents that I'd like to work with are the ones that full-time in real estate, you know, commit to talking to the 30, 40, 50 people a day and then build a business out of it that can actually grow, and you build a team around it and do all these extra things. I mean, that's how you really build something out of this, I feel.
Well, and the thing with going, God, I mean, it's actually very busy out there right now. It's not the same kind of busy as it's been. And the main problem is that most of the trainers, and this is actually, a lot of youngins don't know this, but the trainers are a lot of times retired out. Like, they're not agents anymore. And they're, you know, the guys who built up businesses 30, 40 years ago. And they're like, you know, the real old dudes who are just like, I kind of just want to teach the younger path, but it's like they teach skills that have no relevance in today's economy.
I'm thinking of exactly when I got into Sotheby's. I don't know if I don't want to say any names.
Don't say any names.
I joined.
Not that popular yet.
I joined. I joined Sotheby's and I got assigned to a coach on there. First, I think it was.
His watch is like, hey, hey, wait a second.
He might not be in real estate, but he was at 4 or 5 deals with that one guy, and I maybe had 3 calls with him in my first 3 deals.
Yeah.
That's the limited amount of help that I got. I even got scolded when I closed my 4th or 5th deal out of the program, and it was a bigger deal. It was like a $7 million deal, and the guy's like, why didn't you close that when you he literally said that to me. Why didn't you close that when you were still in the program with me? And I was like, Jesus.
Did he call you from a payphone in Bahamas?
Well, like, hey. It turned out I think he lost his house to foreclosure or something like that.
Okay, but can we? Okay, but hold on. That's a good Yeah. Okay. The amount of people giving advice in this business that are being taken seriously for their abilities, it's not that it's bad, but this is okay. We don't talk about this enough, but the stuff that we focus on is when you're an agent, this is the problem when most people really don't get the runoff when they're taking the plane off the ground, is that you are the accountant, the bookkeeper, the CMO, the CFO, the CEO, the Department of Corporate, you're everything.
Marketing.
Everything at one time.
Assistant.
And you're the assistant, you're the assistant's assistant, you're the person answering the phones, person making the calls. I mean, you're everything.
Right.
And you have no idea any of it. And the thing is, you shouldn't set yourself up in a way that you actually do have to handle those, but you have to be. Today, the amount of information available is so much different than these people who are either the trainers of yesteryear or, I mean, there was this thing that they'll tell you about still called the MLS. Remember the people who talk about the MLS book?
Yeah.
I mean, they're still around, but they're like, guys, do you remember the horse? Remember I used to ride the horse to work? Like they talk about,
I actually
remember the buggy. Huh?
The code.
Yeah.
You used to have the code on the, instead of it being a key fob, you used to hit a button, gave you a code, you punched it into the USB and it would open up like that.
Shit like that. And it's like, but the point is that most of these people, it's not their fault. It's just that they're uneducated in today's necessity of where stuff is going. Like the stuff that you need to do today in your business is akin to being an individual in a startup unto one. Like you're a startup now, just as you.
Well, I mean, attention sells, right? And a lot of these trainers know how to grasp attention on the internet, know how to grasp attention on social media, and then they get their book of business, they get their clients, and primarily they're training newbie agents, right?
It's crazy.
I've walked by. I mean, I went to another office recently, talked to a couple people, want to recruit them over to our side. And we're sitting in the conference room and I'm hearing one of the new agents, she's on her training call and they're talking nothing but politics. Like they're not even being trained. She's not talking about overcoming objections. What are we doing right now? Like the girl is literally going back and forth with
trainer person?
Yeah, with her trainer about politics. Now, again, it goes back to what world we live in right now. Real estate is always a shifting market. There's always something that's going to be out there to attract attention, to distract people, whatever the situation is. I personally, and I'm just talking about myself, I don't know about you guys, I've never been in real estate with so many levels of amounts of distraction at the same time.
Sure.
You know, where this, like, at least for politics, right? Politically speaking, this is the biggest political spectrum, you could call it, show. I don't know what we want to call it, but that attracted so many people's attention in many various ways, right? I don't care which way you lean or whatever the situation is a topic of conversation from everybody. Mm-hmm. The craziest part about it is no one's taking an opportunity or advantage of being able to dominate a market in that area. Everybody wants to talk about it. Everyone wants to be distracted. Instead of putting your head down, going out there, marketing, showing your clients that you're actually not distracted by any of these things. I see more agents going on Instagram saying, do you think the political candidate that's going to win is going to affect your real estate? Vote yes or no. And I'm like, the hell? Like, I get it. You want engagement. You want little things like that of that nature. But how does that provide value?
Yeah.
Like, how does it provide any kind of realistic context in regards to your business? Are you overcoming it? It's 100% distractions. Yeah. We have sporting events. We had, last Friday was the biggest sporting event in LA. Had like 7 huge sporting events in downtown LA. All kinds of agents were leaving early. I look at it in the sense of the matter that a lot of people don't prioritize their time. They don't have money producing activities. They don't have the right coaches on their corner, educating them, preparing them for, hey, here's the distractions that are coming. How do you attract people's attention? How do you get them to overcome
People are so distracted already so much by all these little things, and they're looking for distractions when they want to sell or when they want to buy. I feel like that's one of the things I learned. One of the most important things I learned early on is that you really have to keep clients focused on like, hey, you want to buy? I mean, don't look over there at the election. Don't look over there at the interest rates. Don't look over there at, whatever your neighbor's doing. Focus on this, and let's get to the goal.
Well, and see, the hardest part, and this is the unfortunate, like, easy button, and no one's going to like this answer, but you just got to have to show up to work every day to get this stuff. You can't like, hey, that was a really good podcast. Guys make good points. Okay, I'll go to work next week. Yeah, I'll get there. I will do it. I'll
but
be
I go
serious.
to work every day, and I'm on Instagram and TikTok all day. Why am I not getting any business?
Well, yeah. But you're also never going to get that nugget of information from anybody else in the office, not being at work. You have to actually show up and treat it like a bit of a career, as opposed to, well, I've heard it's not that good right now. And people start saying these things themselves. They're like, it's not good right now. So they just stop, and they don't ever move forward because they accept that resignation of like, hey, it's not good right now. And
that was COVID. That was like COVID. What, 80% of agents during?
Yeah. Oh man. So and so. Yeah. Market can't. China. Europe. Euro. And it's just it. I hear it's, and then you get the clients saying, hey, here it's really bad right now. I'm like, I don't know who you're talking to, dude, but just fire that person. Like, it is very busy right now. You just have to understand some things. It's like, just because the water's rough doesn't mean the fish aren't in the sea. You still got to get out there and catch the fish. Everybody's got to eat. It's still happening. It's just not the same journey. And I think that's the biggest problem is since COVID, people kind of got used to like, this is post 2008 mortgage meltdown. This is the way it's supposed to be now. It's like you just buy every 5 years and you resell your client's property every 5 years. And that's how we all just keep going and going and going until the end of that happens. And we're in this thing. It's like, well, this will pass though. We'll go back to that. It's like, that is dusted. That's gone. This new thing though, there's good money in this new thing. It's just, you have to be able to do a couple extra things and understand where the markets are going to be, and you adjust yourself. There's just not open houses.
Adaptability, I think, is the
who moved my cheese, man? It's just, there's that. But I mean, I don't know. I think the biggest problem is that we're going to get a lot of, I think the new agents coming in will have a better chance than the ones who've been here for the last 3 years.
Oh yeah.
Like
the bad habits, I guess.
Well, also, what's that is it Gen Y? Is that which one's the lazy one? Gen Y?
Gen Z or something like that?
So what's the kids that are coming up right now?
No,
the new ones we're seeing.
Is it Alpha?
Is that rounded numerical? Yeah. Alpha. So back to the beginning?
Yeah.
Gen Alpha?
Gen Alpha.
I'd love to be Gen Alpha. That's Gen Alpha.
Hey, but again, it goes back to like what you're saying right now. You brought up a good point, like the whole market crash and everything else. I think the last 4 years consecutively, I've heard the market's going to crash next year. The market's going to crash next year. The market's going to crash next year. Yeah. It's like this year I've been hearing it more. Oh, if X person wins the presidency, the market's going to crash. If X person wins the presidency, the market's going to do great. And I'm like, dude, where are these just people that like
reminds me of that dude that's sitting on the corner like with the big like world's coming to an end sign and like a burlap sack, like with the beard from like, what was it? Yeah, he was like, repent, whatever, like that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, remember the 2020 changeover in 1999? He was like
2000,
yeah. I'm sorry, 2000 changeover. Like, you don't understand, man. They didn't program computers past 99. Like, it's all, Y2K. Remember Y2K? There's never. You understand? It's the government, bro.
But there's a reason why those guys are so popular and they have those TV shows that do so well, right?
Yeah. Kramer.
I mean, that other bald guy who was saying there's making the frogs gay or whatever.
I wasn't talking about
the guy.
But they're predicting like these catastrophic events, and that's why it's dragging all these eyeballs over to them. So
dude, let's do that. What's an event we can make up like right now? Like, oh, do you understand? People are gonna start living in tents again. Like, it's happening. Tiny homes is going. You know what I'm saying? The trend is going backwards.
We'll get a ton of views and
caves. We're gonna start
cave living is like a thing. Yeah, like ultra caves, zombie tents. Yeah, for sure, dude. It's crazy.
No, it just again it goes back to attention, dude. Like right now, it's when is the market gonna crash? Is it the right time to buy? The amount of conversations I have with just consumers that are calling me or posts that I put up and they just reply to it and they ask a question like, "Hey, do you think it's a good time to refinance?" The crazy part is not the opportunities are there, like you said. It's not that there's no business happening right now. There's so much freaking right now, if I could, create 10 of me, probably be the best blessing in disguise. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on right now. So many opportunities. The more you build up your network, the more opportunities you're going to be able to create, more opportunities that are going to fall in your lap. And the minute I hear someone say like, "Oh, dude, the market sucks right now. There's not enough rates. There's not enough inventory," like I genuinely just walk away.
So
Like, it's not worth your
From
time,
there, it's
man.
focused, but I mean, you got to that point by working so hard.
Oh, man.
And then now your problem is you have too many opportunities all over the place, so you have to focus on the things that are going to make
Learning
you
how
money.
to say no is the biggest thing for me right now.
But in the beginning, I mean, that's what I did. I mean, I had all these opportunities, and I tried to do everything. And then out of like 10 things, 1 or 2 things were working, and then I focused on those, and that allowed me to grow whatever business.
I've seen brand new agents tell me, "Hey, I'm not going to take a listing in Riverside. I don't want to drive." And I'm looking at them going like, "How many listings do you have right now? None? Zero? And you're going to complain about the drive to Riverside?"
Cut into his TikTok.
I remember, dude, like one of my first listings was in Barstow.
Yeah.
Barstow?
Like, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Like
dude, I think I had one at, where was I? Hemet? I don't know. It was far.
yeah, it was.
I drove there and I felt like I was in a different country. Like like it was like you know, the family of Chihuahuas walking down the street like wild. I'm like, dude,
called
what was that?
Hemet.
Yeah, I'd never been to Hemet, but I was like, I had to go like over a mountain to get into this spot, and I'm like, and it was like short sales. It was like everything was short sale, dude. Every client had one. They're like, they just
Victorville,
the agent
Hemet.
they knew was doing the short sale. Like that's far I got. But yeah, dude, middle of nowhere. I remember that. I was like, God, this is crazy. I went one day to put the key box on. I don't think I ever went back again. It was short sales, like it was just different back then. But like,
You're like, keep the key box.
I think because I do keep it. It's the $20 key box. It's like $40 of gas. I'll go get more gas.
Man,
Yeah.
but again, it goes back to what we're saying. Like right now, I feel like right now has been the hardest time for work. Meaning not hard as in not being able to get work. It's the amount of work you got to put in. Like it's literally the amount of information that you got to put out, the amount of content that you're creating. Like as you're creating your business, as you're building it up. Right now, agents that are coming into the industry, they have a common misconception of HGTV, $1 million listing, where they're just gonna put on a suit,
crushing 'em.
put on a nice listing sign, and you're going to be signing contracts for $3, $4, $5 million. No stress, no transaction coordinators. Like I saw the show a couple times with my wife, and I'm like, so there's no contracts, they don't negotiate.
Oh no, handshake on a private plane. What are you talking about?
Like, I was like,
fine.
there's no inspections, no escrow. Who's the escrow company? Who's the title company? Like nothing.
Yeah.
Like cool, just a $5 million house just sold.
Just throw on a short skirt and sell the house. What's the big deal?
Because we've had some mutual frustrations over some stuff we're dealing with. There's this guy that I'm working on a client's house right now, and I get a knock on the door, and we had some insurance stuff, so they're fixing things up. And so a guy walks to the door, and I don't know if he's got work clothes on, and he doesn't speak very well English, and so he's trying to ask me a question. But I don't know if he's there on somebody's crew, like, because there's stuff working on. So I bring one of the guys out. I'm like, hey, can you ask him what he's saying? Because I'm un poquito español, but I'm not anything. I'm not anything incredibly good at all. So, but he said no. He's just asking if we want any landscaping work done. And he's just walking door to door with shears in his pocket.
Damn.
And he's got a roughed up car outside, but he doesn't speak English. He's like, do they need landscaping done? And the grass obviously needs to be cut. Like he doesn't take care of his property. I'm like, that is what you have to do. You just get in your car and go. Like
I love that. No fear.
Dude, the objective is to get some money and take it home for the kids today. Like not figure out how to get 7,000 likes on Instagram because that's where I'm competing. It's like, that's the problem. It's like everyone when we grew up, we're still growing up, but it worked. That's it. You got to get to work. You have no choice. You got to get out and compete with everybody else. But the message is gone. Like when I was growing up, my dad would repeat all the time, I think it was the Carl the Mailman Malone is like, his famous thing was, he wouldn't rest because every moment he rested was a moment somebody was outworking him. I'm like, that stuck with me. And my dad said, look, you can have whatever you want as long as you're willing to beat everybody else for it.
Yep.
Done. That's all I needed to hear. I am great at work. I kill myself like to beat every people. That's gone, or at least it's mostly gone. I think there's the generation that we're dealing with right now in real estate has got to get this lesson. You better shake loose the TV version of what you thought this needed to be and figure out real quick that this is a career. You got to work for it. You're not going to make millions of dollars sitting on your fanny. And just because somebody made it rich in a creator space doesn't mean they hand that gift out to everybody.
That's why training and coaching is so important. It's so important that I just feel like, the training program that we have, it's...
and we teach shortcuts. It's just that you have to be able to understand how the thing works to apply the shortcut.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's the PCX program we have, the 90-day program. I mean, it's not like 4 hours a day. It's 29 minutes a
jet
day.
fuel.
And you plug into it. You learn everything you need to learn, but it's also telling you like, this is how many people you got to reach out today, and this is how you progress to the next level.
And by the way, it does work, because the thing is that the more you spend time inside of the incubator or environment, whatever you call it, when you're along with the other people, you actually, I can never tell people are doing wrong unless I hear the conversations they're having. I have no idea. I mean, same as you guys. Like, I don't know what you're doing because you're not doing it in front of me. Like, if you go home and you're having problems at home when you're on the phone, I'll have no clue because I can't hear it. So, but there's deals in there. Like, there's genuinely deals in there. It's like, you know, you got a metal detector and you're trying to, you know, take it up a tree. It's like, well, I can't see you doing that, so I don't know what you're doing. The money's in the ground. You got to go over here. And so by being able to have them in that environment, in the incubator, in the coaching thing, we can actually find the deals in there. And there are so many deals they have no idea about, but they don't even know how to read the train of the conversations, or they don't know what selling signals even sound like.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the biggest thing about it. Aligning with the right office, understanding that you have to have conversations with people that are actually doing the work, not selling a program that worked 10 years ago. It's crucial in today's market primarily. And, you know, it's a shameless plug for us. I mean, we think outside the box. Yes, real estate is a very hardworking industry. You got to put in the hours. You got to make the calls. You got to show up primarily. And in the beginning of your career, you're going to miss out on some things. Like, I'm sorry to say it. It doesn't matter which shortcut you want to take. You're going to have to go out there, meet some clients. You're going to set up appointments. You're going to start building up your CRM. You're going to have to start building up your network. You're going to have to go to a couple events for people to get to know who you are.
Yeah.
You know, even after you build up your reputation, I still do those things. I still want to be top of mind. But if you're not aligned with the right office that's actually putting in the work, it's going to make it that much more difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the level of success in realtors, brand new realtors?
I mean, 80 to 90% fill out. In
Yes, all right.
5 or 10% of them pass on to the next.
But here's the thing. That's a completely voluntary percentage.
Yes. I mean, you've said it numerous times when you talk about teaching classes and giving people advice. Like, you have always said, like, I had 2 jobs. You know, I used to be a bartender, used to do all those things. Dude, I was the same way. You know, I had money coming in from somewhere else, but then I knew that I had to put in the sacrifice to go in the afternoon.
Yeah,
door
sleep
knock.
is what got sacrificed.
Yep. Door knock. Okay. For me, it was spending time with my kids, spending time with my wife. She knew, and it was an investment between both of us.
Remember that book, what's that kid's book, the grasshopper book? Remember the grasshopper plays all the time? Ants are working really hard. It's a very famous, everyone reads it when they're a kid. They're like, it's a lesson they try to teach you as a kid. It's like, okay, so anyways, the book is that these ants are working for winter, and the grasshoppers, everything's green out here. What are you doing? You should be playing and jumping and having a good time. And so they get all the way to winter, and then the grasshopper is like freezing outside, and the ants have everything they need. And of course, the end of the book, they don't let the thing die. They come in with us, and so they have to be. But as a kid, they try to teach us, like, dude, you have to prepare for the future you want, not for the thing you're doing today, which is fun. The amount of I slowly became that friend that got pulled off the Evite, for all the events. Like, he's never coming. Like, they're never going to come. And it's like you slowly watch your friendships kind of like get a little bit thinner. It's like, but that happens during that phase after college where you're trying to figure stuff out, man. If you have an aspiration of something you want to do, you cannot rely on the fact that by creating content, you're going to be somehow discovered in the industry for which you are attuned to know nothing. You can educate people. Like, if for some random reason what we're doing becomes value to the community, it might get discovered, but it's of no consequences. We're doing this for people who can listen. Like, this is a thing we're trying to do. So trying to be a danceaholic or anything else you want to do, it's not relevant. You have to create a product that is valuable to the community. And that in this business is your effort. You have to show up and you got to push, you got to work.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing I like about our office. We have open door policy. You could go in there, you look at other people's business, say, hey, what worked, what didn't, align it with your life, see how it works out, and see how you can actually plug it in, and then take action. Like, massive action.
I don't think agents value that enough. And especially the new agents, they don't understand, because I think there's been some agents that don't really, they came into our office and they have us open door. We're there. They can tap into us anytime, but they're like, oh, I'm not getting exactly what I need. I'm like, you realize if you went to another brokerage, you're not going to have 3 high level people that have their doors open to you.
Not only that, but it's like the level, like, when we hear this conversation, like, are those people like, what kind of money are they making in this job of theirs? Are they?
They're not.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where are you trying to get mentorship from? It's like you're trying to learn how to fly from somebody who painted on wings. Like, you can't do that. If you want to see how to do this stuff, you need to stop having your own opinion about how it's supposed to work and realize that your opinion doesn't matter. You got to see what's working inside of the organization and go follow that, because that's happening.
Yeah.
But most people are scared of failure. You know, most people are scared of going up, asking the wrong question, looking dumb, not really having the confidence to understand that, am I asking the right question? Am I taking up your time? Am I wasting your time? Like, fear is going to stop you from succeeding no matter what.
I think it's a lack of taking responsibility. Like, I don't want to be
responsibility. I mean, I'm one thing I can attribute my success to is I don't give a shit if I look like a dumbass. I'm going to ask the question.
Sure.
I want to learn. And
it's not just asking the question, because there's been some
questions asked.
Well, there's some people who just all they do is ask questions, and then when we give them advice, like, this is what you need to do, they're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep asking questions.
No, let me ask you again.
Well, let me ask it a different way.
Until you give me the answer that I want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, no, I mean, the difference between that and myself is I would ask questions, and then depending on what they would tell me, I would take action. I would right away put implementation into those things and then see the results and then adjust, pivot. Yeah. You know, I don't expect anybody to run their business the same way as I do, but look at the key intricate models that I'm using that are giving me the success, plug it into your life, see how it works, right? See if these things are going to be able to make you successful, not make you successful. But again, shameless plug, if you're not in a good office that has actual producing agents, that has people that have the level of success that you want to achieve, then take a look at it and go check out your options.
Yeah.
You know, come see us, see what we have to offer, and see if it's a good fit for you or not. But these are the type of things that we talk about. We don't like to waste time. We don't like to invest our energy or an effort into things that are going to be distractions, or trying to make new dance moves on TikTok to try to get 10,000 followers that are never going to buy a house, but they just want to see you and they want to see how dumb you are on screen. Right?
And I think we have something for new agents, the PCX program, which I think is amazing. It's already proven.
Yeah, it's great.
But what I like we didn't talk about this at all, but for agents that are producing mid-level or higher level, I don't think I shared with you guys already, but I want to do like a monthly mastermind.
Oh, sure, yeah.
For that, you know,
should do a career night again. That was good.
Yeah. But the mastermind is really for agents that are, I feel some are kind of tapping into this and looking at it, which syndications and raising money.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that's the natural next step for any agent that's been in the business for at least 3 to 5 years. They produce, you know, they're in 6 figures or mid 6 figures. They're not, you know, maybe 5-10% of the agents I talk to are actually thinking about this and putting it on their radar, but they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
But it's such an easy step to actually tap into that network that they have and basically raise money for larger projects, or even if they see a house that they think is a good flip, they can reach out to their network, raise some money, and then not just do the commission on the flip, but actually get the flip money.
Well, and that's something I actually really do like about us. You know, the business we've created, which people can join, yes, of course, but us specifically, is that we are going to be very quickly moving towards that next thing. And it's like most people think, oh man, that actually sounds like a great idea. I would love to do that. Yeah. Never goes anywhere. Like it's just a great idea to flip something.
And we're doing it. We do 1 to 2 flips a month.
Absolutely.
We're raising money. We've just closed down that portfolio of 37 properties.
I mean,
analyzing deals every day.
And the goal is thousands and thousands of thousands. It's like, but we're going to, because that's kind of how
there's literally no other office. I mean, I've talked to other offices. There's no other office that's doing these things.
They're not even paying the rent.
No, but I mean, aside from that fact, it's just, again, you align with the right people, the right mindset, the right work environment, with the right goals set into place. It's all about execution, right? You have a vision, you have a roadmap, you have plans, and you have the work ahead of you. Now it's time to go put in the work.
I agree.
Success will come. I mean, congratulations to us 3. I mean, we have 37 doors underneath our belt right now, analyzing a 50-unit portfolio next, looking at other opportunities coming up. We have 2 flips going on at the same time right now, looking at 4 other flips to potentially come on the market.
And we have over 100 agents under contract at the company that we're training to do this stuff, not that stuff.
And aside from that, we have our own businesses.
That's
you know?
true.
We all have our own business.
We're all
Our own
personal
Brian's got
businesses.
interior design.
Yeah.
Red's got multiple restaurants. I
Fun
do.
I've
Too
signed a
many
handful
this
week.
restaurants.
You signed a handful of deals this week. We have
Yes,
our own
sir.
stuff, and that's all with families and kids and obligations, and somewhere in there is sleep. But I mean, it's a choice. We don't have to be as busy. You can do it the other way. As I said, it's not very good sleep for me right now. But
No, but I mean, again, it's just a sacrifice, right? We understand that we want something bigger than what we have been able to actually put on the table, and our goal keeps moving up. We don't get complacent. We keep working. We want to work smarter. Right now, it's the hard work. We're building up something bigger than what we want to be doing, building up opportunities, building up tons and tons of networks to be able to have more options for agents to right away. I mean, I wish I would have been able to join an office, not just because it's our office. I wish I would have been able to join an office with that mindset that I don't just have to be an agent. I can look at it as an investor from day one. I don't have to be capped at, hey, I'm a brand new agent. All I could sell is a house for $400,000 because I can only feel comfortable selling a house for $400,000.
Yeah.
It's mind boggling how many people have that mentality.
Well, that's all they're going to get taught.
You know, yeah. Unfortunately, that's the ceiling that they actually get fed. And again, it's again who you surround yourself with.
100%.
And again, I've always been that way. I've always wanted to get into the room where I'm the smallest person there because I want to align with the biggest person in that room and then just move forward.
But everyone trying to get motivated on Instagram in the morning is going to watch these videos say your income is the exact equivalent of the 5 people you spend most time with. You know, show me your friends. I'll show you your bank account. Like all those things. They're like, oh, that's motivating. Okay, let's go back to the bus stop and see how that goes. Like, yeah, you have to be around other people, man. You got to go.
Yes,
like you have no choice.
Yeah. I mean, with that being said, like I said, guys, tap in with us. Let us know if we can help in any way, shape, or form. Reach out. Let us know if you want to sit down and have an interview, how we can provide some value to your business, what concepts you have in mind, what questions you may have. See how we pretty much set up our time block, look at our schedules, make sure that we're available for us to be able to help you out, grow where you want to go, and hopefully align in the right position, in the right place, and have you on board with our office.
Yeah, man. If y'all want to check more about what we're working on and how we're doing it, you're welcome to come by. We actually have a very open office. We teach classes constantly. We are going to start doing a mastermind. If you're interested, you can reach out about that. You can come take a look. We recommend everybody test drive information like this because it can be a fire hose of really, really intricate things you may not understand right now, but it'll make more sense as you dip further into it. Tom does a lot of meetups. I do classes constantly. Red does as well. So you can come take part in any of those things you want to learn if you just want to dip in. See, our passion is actually showing people that there's a much bigger world of real estate than we ever got introduced to. And you can make money in almost all of it if you understand how to do it. So
Sure.
We are welcome to have you. Thank you for joining us here for the Agents After Hours. Brian, Red, Tom, we'll see you here next time, next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. We'll see you then.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.